Hi, I'm Dave Epstein. Welcome to Growing Wisdom. If you're a gardener like me and you go into the store during the non-growing season, the winter months, especially in the Northeast, it's hard to find good tomatoes, isn't it? But what you can do with the plum tomatoes this time of the year is make your own sun-dried tomatoes. Now, we're not really going to put them in the sun, but we're going to basically dry these in the oven. And these are fantastic to eat alone. They're great on salads. You can mix them in pasta, do all sorts of things with them. So go to the store, start with some great plum tomatoes. And you know what? Sometimes I even go into the section where the tomatoes, they put them out, they're like half price because they don't look so good. Those are tomatoes that actually will work pretty well for this, so you can save yourself a little bit of money. So cut the tomatoes in half, and one of the things you're going to notice when you cut the tomato in half, there's a lot of the jelly and the seeds in the middle. We've got to take that out. That's one of the key steps to make these sun-dried tomatoes. So what I do is here I'm lucky, I've got the sink right next to me. I'm basically just going to scoop these out. So what I'm left with is basically the meat, and that's what we're going to dry. And you're going to be amazed at what these look like. And we'll do a bunch of these. Use at least 5 pounds of tomatoes. Don't bother doing like 3 or 4 tomatoes. It is just a waste of your oven and a waste of electricity. There's 2 choices here of ways in which you can prepare the tomatoes. If I want them a little bit crispier, I'll use the rack. If I want them a little bit softer, I tend to use the cookie sheet. Also spray your rack or spray the pan so that they don't stick. Okay, so basically what you want to do is you want to line these up, much like you would if you were baking anything, cookies or cupcakes. You don't want them touching each other. You really want the air to circulate around them. The next thing that you want to do, you want to preheat your oven. And you're going to put the oven at only 200 degrees. I have actually put some olive oil in this little container here. And I've mixed in just a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of oregano, and I've ground in just a little bit of fresh pepper. So one of the things I'm going to do is just simply brush these with a little bit of the olive oil, enough so that you can sort of see the sheen of the oil on the tomatoes. All right, so we're going to put these in the oven. And we'll come back in 6 hours and see what it looks like. They really have shrunk. I saved one. You can see the difference. Just look at how tiny these things are compared to what it looked like before we started. So if you're going over to friends or family during the winter months, bring them a bunch of these sun-dried tomatoes. They'll think you're quite the chef. Come back every week for all of our tips, hints, and helps here at growingwisdom.com.